Call 215-588-2180.
Hello, thanks for watching this video. Welcome to the Harpoon Pest Solutions Pest Control Podcast. I'm Quincy. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. Vernon Brown.
How's everybody doing?
Nice. Before we go on, if you find any value in these videos, just make sure you hit the like button or subscribe if you're catching this on YouTube. Today we're going to talk about ants. Mostly because the time of year it is. Today is like the beginning of March. So as far as ants are concerned, a lot of pest control companies will, their calls will start to go up because people start to see ants. In fact, like just last week, we had some friends in a business and they've been talking about getting calls for ants already. Normally we associate ants with something that happens in the spring or the summer, but as early as the late winter, we can have some ants, and so that's what today's podcast is going to be about. It's just some quick things that we have come across, over time in the industry about how you can control ants in your home, and then ultimately what the ultimate solution will probably be if you have an ant problem. Okay, so we're actually going to put up a slide on this, how to control ants in your home. The first thing you want to do, is to keep your house clean, because ants eat sugar, protein, and just about anything else that they can find. So I know this is easier said than done, especially if you're dealing with this guy down here at the bottom right-hand part of the screen. If you have little kids, then they're eating cookies, they're leaving crumbs everywhere, and the ants are just going to attack that stuff. And I'm not sure if you can see on this donut slide, but it's just full of ants. And you've seen this before. You drop one thing, and the ants just come out in numbers.
Right.
And this time of year, they'll be the most aggressive because they're looking to, those colonies are looking to thrive and reproduce and go to work, over the season. So sometimes when we go out to places, we find that people will have, little kids, whether it's daycare center or inside of a house, and the ants will be coming up for food. So you do the best you can to just keep everything clean. The ants won't have anything to come looking for. What do you think about that, Vern? You got any thoughts?
Yeah. Definitely clean house. One of the things that you might not realize, and this has happened to me personally, is ants got in under my door because I put a trash bag near the door to take it out, and went to do other things and came back, and I had a trash bag full of ants, and ants coming all up, going on the wall and everything. So they can move pretty fast. It can happen pretty quickly. It is amazing that the sense of a smell that they have. They can literally, right through your house, come into the house. And, one of the things that people say is, well, how are they getting in? Yeah, that's not even a question. They can get in. It's not about, your threshold or your door, your window. These bugs can get in.
Yeah,
they can get in.
They are powerful.
It's not a ceiling thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, the biggest thing is we're going to talk about how to prevent ants, or really get better control of not getting ants into the house. He talked about the food outside, dropping ice cream on the ground outside the door or anything like that. But it's also your trash can in the house. So even if you got a clean house, it's possible that they can get in through that trash can, because of the trash can hasn't been taken out in a while.
Yeah, I've seen ants do some amazing things. You ever see those ant mounds in the summer, like in between the the concrete. You'll
Right.
just see them just burst right up out of the in between the the concrete, the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that in the middle of a lady's house. Her house was sitting on a slab, but like they just broke out like right in the middle of her right in the middle of her carpet, right in the middle of her floor,
Mm-hmm.
and they broke out and they just started trailing up up a up like the kitchen table looking for food. So I mean
Mm-hmm.
they can be super aggressive. Now
Yeah.
if you have an issue with ants and maybe you don't want to go reaching for, maybe you wanted to try something natural, you don't want to go reaching for any harsh chemicals because maybe you have children. Um, these things that you see here on the slide, did some quick research on. These are some natural repellents that you could possibly try. I don't have any experience with these things personally, but I do know that I've had customers over the years have told me that they had used these exact ingredients with some
Mm-hmm.
success. But if you're going to use them, you have to be thorough and you have to be persistent. I had an older guy tell me he used the vinegar and he used lemon, and his routine, it was, it was strict. He had to stay with it because he would have to rub his countertops down with the vinegar, and then he followed it up with lemon, and he did some other stuff with some disinfectant. But he says he was able to get rid of his ant problem, and looking this stuff up online, you can read some other experiences about people who have used peppermint and citrus and this some other ingredients here and have had some success.
So, excuse me. One of the things that we want to be clear about with ants, you'll hear people say, "I'm not calling pest control company for no ants. They ants. Like it's no big deal." And we understand. I mean, I don't recall uh calling a pest control company for ants. A lot of people do though. Here's the thing. Um, with ants, you want to take care of them outside of your house. You see, Quincy talked about the ant mound. Um, it's a situation where you want to get that ant mound taken care of because the last thing you want is a kid to step on that ant mound. Ants, a lot of ants can bite. They can go up your leg and they can bite you pretty good. So you really don't want to ignore them when they're up against the house like that, or right outside on your pavement. You want to do something that Quincy talking about, a natural remedy, or call a company that if they're starting to get out of control, because they can get out of control pretty quickly.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The outside, attacking the outside, giving attention on the outside, will greatly reduce the amount of ants that you see indoors, for sure. So here's something interesting, um, that we kind of know from our experience in the business, but we also researched and found that the trick to getting rid of ants for good is never spray for the ants. And that sounds crazy, but
Right.
the number one thing that most homeowners do, if they have a ant issue, is that they go reach for this stuff right here in the red can, ant and roach spray.
Yeah.
And couple things with that is that, number one, you're gonna spray this stuff. Most people are going to spray it where they see the ants, and that's going to be the kitchen countertops, the tables, um, some other part of the house that might be sensitive or people come in a lot of contact with, and you're going to spread pesticide through your home. This is just as simple as that. People, you're going to take the raid, you're going to spray where you see the ants running. So that's not anything that you would ever want to do, is to expose yourself or your family to a lot of unwanted pesticide, and that can happen if you're using cans of raid. Um, the other thing is that all ants are part of some colony, and the colonies can have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of members. And so when you spray ants, you're only going to kill the ants that you see. You're not going to kill any of the you're not going to kill any of the invisible ants or the queen or anything like that. And then lastly, certain ant species, once you spray them and um, they go into survival mode, they'll break off and they'll start creating colonies inside your walls, inside your ceiling, in the in different places, just so they can survive. And now, instead of having one big colony, you spray the ants, and now they can create all these other different colonies throughout your house, and that could be a real nightmare.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right. You got any thoughts on that, Vern?
No, not really. I mean, you covered it pretty good. We use a baiting system.
Yeah,
And I think that's the next slide, right?
yeah, it
We
is.
use
Yup.
a baiting system that takes care of ants pretty quickly. There's also granular baits that so it's gel baits, it's granular baits, but bait always works. I mean, and bait works on a variety of pests.
Yeah,
Spray is, I mean, we're just getting away from spraying on a lot. I mean, obviously perimeter sprays, just to let you know, uh, when we come out to your home, a lot of times you'll see us using what's called a rig. We have electrical rigs, gas rigs, but um, we perimeter spray your house, and it does prevent a lot of, especially if you have shrubs and bushes. Perimeter sprays are very effective with when it comes to your house, and it can last you a while. So it's good to get a perimeter spray to prevent a variety of bugs, to have a company come out and do a perimeter spray around your house, particularly if you got grass and soil and things of that nature. It really works out.
yeah, yeah, for sure. That's one of the ways you can get control. Um, like Vern was saying, you have perimeter treatments, stuff like that. But also, you can take some practical steps. Check around your home. Check to see if you have trees and shrubs that might be hanging over and touching your roof line, the gutters, the
Right.
windows. We've had people have issues with ants in different parts of the house. You go outside and you look, and you see that the trees are just, hanging over, and the ants are just walking right off the tree and
Hmm.
going into the house that way. And then, yeah, as far as the things that professional use, you have liquid ant baits, which are best. You're going to get great results if you can bait ants. And then really seeking the help of a professional, um, because ants can be tough. Ants can be tough to control. It seems like it would be an easy fix to just go spray and and just kill them, but um, you need to have an experienced professional come in and take a look at if you're having an ant issue.
Hmm.
So that is it for today as far as ant control, or how to get control of ants for your home. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on today, Vern?
That's it. That's it. We don't want to beat a dead horse, as you say. We're at the what 14-minute mark, and we know people are busy. So, no, that's it, man.
All right. Well, until the next time, we will be discussing, I think, carpenter bees on our next podcast.
Yeah,
And
and also on that next one, we're going to discuss business, how to, we talk about we're going to give business tips. We're going to give some real good business nuggets on that next one.
sounds good. Sounds good. All righty, everyone.